Okay, so day 8 in our struggle of finding out information, well being, and care for my elderly mother and the impending changes, how it affects everything and everybody. Um, we're still along this journey, and yesterday we spent a great deal of time on the phone trying to get some answers as far as insurance. My mom has been blessed and lucky that she hasn't had to be to a doctor for 35 years. As the same token, she also never took out insurance other than just the Medicaid A or Medicare A that she had. So she has Part A, which is only protecting her for hospitalization. But again, she's been healthy and lucky. That has not been an issue. But note to self, here's the thing, as explained to us by a provider, that at the time that she was offered and eligible for the Part A, she was also eligible for Part B, which is a monthly charge for her at that time. She declined and did not take it. Obviously, fixed income, limited assets, and just healthy. So said no, thank you, I don't need it. Well, fast forward to now, 12 years later, and apparently, if you didn't take it when you qualified, then there is a penalty that the government charges you. And this is monthly that they charge. So, what would have been $174 for her to pick up this additional benefit, Part B, we are now being told it's over $400 a month because of that penalty, which honestly isn't even realistic considering the amount of her fixed income and nothing else available to her. So we are going down this path of trying to find out, what does she need? What does she qualify for? What assets is she permitted to have, or what assets does she lose coming into a system? And I know that the state has a program, Ohio Medicaid. So those are the calls that we're going to be making today. Of course, this is all secondary to the fact that whatever it takes, we're going to do whatever we need to do. But the reality is that many people who are elderly, their family, financially go into a deficit situation. It becomes a burden. And you hear those horror stories of where elderly people are eating maybe cat food or just the same can of beans and not able to afford groceries as a result of the cost of their medication or their health care and premium insurance, knowing that they're on fixed income. This is just totally should be unacceptable, not just because now this is affecting my mom, but this is something that I have spoken to and tried to advocate for with my clients in real estate, that you should not lose the house that you have owned as a result of needing now medical assistance. Why? Why does that happen? And so while I'm dealing with this now personally, it is really diving deeper to make sure that we're asking the right questions, that we're letting our representatives or congressmen, those who are in power, to know that this system is flawed. It is wrong. It is doing damage to people who don't deserve to have damage done to them. And if there is a system that is better put together, better for the greater masses, then we should be having these discussions instead of going down whatever random monopoly situation that the DOJ wants to take on as, this is their latest target and what they want to see get corrected. Let's talk about the basics for people. Housing, shelter, healthcare, having the ability to be seen when there is a medical condition, mental health. You just have so many more important things that could be talked about, could be really dived into to say, let's fix this, let's do something better about it. So I know I'm going on a tangent at this point, but I'm probably preaching to the choir. If you're watching this, it's because maybe you have somebody who's elderly that now you're having to deal with, or Hopefully that you're proactively looking at, hey, down the road, I may have this situation. So as much information as I can pull together, we're going to bring it into a source where it helps people. Independent living is an important thing for people for as long as they can medically. If they need assistance, it shouldn't cost them their life savings. And certainly when you take away assets that they've worked all their life for and finally achieve, now you set them backwards as a result of putting them into a program that really takes away their independence, takes away their freedoms, and takes away their functionality. So we're not going to do that. We're going to find a way to fight this. And I am happy to do that, not only for my mom, but for anybody else who's interested or needing assistance, because sometimes you just need a voice to speak out for you. Good news is she received a different doctor today because switches in the schedule. New doctor came in, very open to listening, understanding that we have questions as her family, also understanding that we know her better than the people who have seen her for a couple of days. We know what her life has been like. We know how she was before she came into this hospital stay and what's normal, what's not normal. I may not know medically what's going on, but I know what normal is for my mother, and normal is not what we have going on. So while they were ready to push her out yesterday and say, yep, discharged, this doctor is at least taking a pause. Let's take a look at this. Let's ask a few more questions. Let's just see, does this get any better? Is it a result of the fluid in the lungs and now she's going to just function much better? Or is there something more going on and the fluid is going to be an ongoing issue, which obviously I can't drain at home. So why send her home if she has to turn around and come back? Got to ask the hard questions and do the work so that we can figure out what's best for her, but also just to have information as her family caregiver, the person who's going to be helping her on a daily basis and get her back to what is normal or what's the new normal. Anyway, hopefully this helps. We got a little bit of peace and quiet knowing that she's where she needs to be. She is getting cared for, and the hospital is doing a fantastic job. It's just a lot of information to try to take in and a lot of information then to try to disseminate. Family, all of them want to come see, want to be there, and obviously sometimes that's overwhelming for people. So everybody's different. You may want to sit there and be with them, hold their hand, and others may not want to be there. It might be hard for them to do that. The person who's receiving the attention may welcome it and want it all the time. Others may just want the peace and quiet. So really, everybody's situation, we understand, can be different. And finding that happy place for you, for your loved one, for the elderly that need to be taken care of is really, really, really the most important thing to do. And we wish you well. Hope to see you with more good news or at least more progress along this line. Thanks so much. Take care.